Yo, what's good? This is the Evergreen pod where we keep it evergreen. We're doing it a little different tonight, but it's still fly. I am DM, and I got my boys with me, man. Y'all good, man? They smiling, they happy to be here, man. Dante, how you feeling, bro?
Good, baby, as always, man. Let's get it rocking.
You good, man? I know we ain't in the same room, bro, but I can still feel y'all, man. We still all the same energy, man. Will, what's up?
What's up, man? I'm ready, man. Consistency is key, and we rolling.
Let's go, Will Glory. Let's go, Lambo. Doug, what's happening?
What's happening? I'm exquisite right now. I feel really exquisite.
Oh man. This man is a scholar. All
right, yeah.
And we got a special guest, man. Go and tell her who we got, Doug.
Before we move forward, though, y'all know what y'all need to do. Hit that like and subscribe button. Support us so we can keep putting out this content. I guarantee you, like we always say, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button before you move forward. So, man, tonight we got a special guest. He hails from Houston, Texas. The west side of Texas, West Side High School. One of my great friends by the name of RJ Jackson. RJ was 2004 one of the most highly recruited football players in the state of Texas, not only the state of Texas, but in the country. He's the only person that I know that has his jersey retired while he's still playing. Usually you have your jersey retired, 10, 15 years down the line. But he had a jersey retired
while he was playing?
While he's playing senior high school. At the senior year, got his jersey retired. He was a U.S. Army All-American, Parade All-American. If you know, back then, 04-05, they had Parade All-Americans, and he was part of the U.S. Army All-American game. So he considered the best athlete in the state of Texas back in 2004. Had a chance to play with him 4 years at LSU in the same signing class. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, introduce you to the man of the hour, Mr. RJ Jackson. And his name is RJ. It's not abbreviated. His name is RJ. It's not abbreviated.
It's just RJ, man.
Yeah, it's just RJ. RJ, man. We're glad to have you, bro.
Man, I appreciate you boys for having me, man. Like, been a fan. I'm always checking up on you guys, watching it, man. Like I said before, man, I only watch podcasts and sports, man. So, and y'all one of the few that I do watch, man. So keep it up. It's all organic. It's all authentic, man. And love what you're doing, man. So thanks for having me, though.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Go ahead, Doug. You could jump it up.
So, man, RJ, man, just tell us about yourself. Obviously we know you're from Houston, Texas, but give us a little bit about your background and where you come from, and then what kind of catapulted you into playing sports, either at an early age or what made you do that?
Man, first, I gotta get something straight because my people see that I'm from the east side of Houston. I went to west side, so I gotta get that. Gotta get that straight. I won't be able to go back home. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Grew up in Houston, Texas, man. Played sports at a young age. Played them all. My dad put me in every single sports, man. At one point, man, I was in gymnastics. So which actually kind of helped. Now that I think about
footwork.
Yeah, definitely, man. But little black kid in gymnastics, man, you don't see that. Little black boy in gymnastics, you don't see that too often, man. So, was in there. My older brother used to take me to go golf, so I'm ultra competitive, dog. Just probably to a hinderment. Just grew up in all types of sports. Anything with a ball or anything like that, competitive, bro. I'm all for it. So, played little league ball. Had to carry around my birth certificate. Had to step on the scale every game because I was everybody, man. What people don't know, man, I got in high school, man, they wanted me to come play. I was actually better in baseball, but they were trying to get us to high school to play basketball, man. And at the time, I was taller, bigger than everyone. I kind of stopped growing for a while, and then got into high school, got into basketball. Football just took off. And then I'm going to say like my sophomore year, started playing varsity ball. I was like $175 playing running back, and it happened on accident. Our running back got hurt. They was like, hey, you played on a freshman team, go to running back. Went to running back, and the rest is kind of history, man. And then going into my junior year, we needed some DBs, so I ended up playing DB. So I was going both ways. It was actually first team all district as a DB. And then, recruits started calling because you're versatile,
Right.
probably could have went anywhere I wanted to, man. And you know, growing up, man, I was a UT fan, man. So I wanted to go there. Was getting recruited by them, man. But it was just something about, you know, LSU that felt like home. So I used to take my boys out there. We used to go out there, you know, my sophomore, junior years, man. It just felt like home. And of course, that was when Saban was there. But I remember him. You know, I don't know if you remember Travis too, Doug, but he was recruiting us as well. And I remember when Saban went to the Dolphins, they still came back and they were like, "Hey, man, you still need to go to LSU, right?" It was like, "It's still the place for you, man." And got to LSU, man. I redshirted. End up playing or whatever. End up tearing my ACL the last play spring ball, but at that time I was running with the ones. It was me and Jacob Hester. Everything was just kind of coming natural, man. Last play of the game, man. Still remember the last play of the scrimmage. Still remember the play and everything. So tore my ACL. Then, you know, it was a battle back. Ended up playing receiver. Then after college, ended up playing arena ball. Played overseas, man. Then came back in here and got into construction and design, man. And that's what it's been ever since. So it's afforded me some things, man. It actually took me all over the world. It actually took me into construction and design, man. So, man, without sports, dude, I don't know where I'd be, but it's been the best, man. Got some lifelong brothers from it, some lifelong lessons, learned some skills. So I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Let me go back. Let me go back. I got a question. What Doug said this a minute ago, and I'm still tripping. So you got your jersey retired while you were playing in high school?
Yeah, after my senior year, man.
How was that process, man? Like, what was going through your head, man, that whole time? Because
that's just a caveat. You wasn't at a small high school, right?
We were 5A. Yeah, we were 5A school.
Sheesh.
Yeah, man. We were a newer school, and you know, we just started winning, man. I don't know. I'm gonna tell y'all this, and even when Doug was talking and stuff like that, man, like you don't realize how big some things are when you're there, right? We didn't have social media or anything, bro. I was just on the east side, going to west side, you know, playing a sport with some friends, bro. Like we were actually friends, and that's one thing I realized, man. Like teams succeed when you're actually like friends. You kind of know one another. So we were hanging out afterwards. I was just playing ball with my friends, bro. I didn't know I was going to college. I didn't know any of that. I was just having fun, you know. And he caught me off the guard, man. My coach, Bill Wilson, man, I still, you know, he still check up on me, still keep in contact with him. Like when he brought out my jersey, you know, we was at the awards and he was like, "Hey, we retiring this jersey." I'm like, "Yo, like, I'm too young. I don't know what this is." You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it happened, man. And it's crazy, like how connected we still are, man. Just picture this, my white coach. I got baptized my junior year. And he was the only white guy kind of in the center of the church, man. I remember looking back like, but yeah, man, like it's hard to process, man. When I look back on it, I don't think I was fully like there, man. Like during that whole process, because I look at the kids now, man, and what they're doing. I got a little cousin that played for Kentucky now, you know. He used to come to my games then, and I see what he's going through and what he's posting and things like that. You know, sometimes you forget, man. You know, I've had a few lives since then, and you know, now that Doug just kind of bringing it up and you asking the question, man, it was a blessing, but I didn't know how big that was.
Didn't know what was going on, right?
Yeah,
I can imagine. You 16? You 16?
Yeah,
man.
Just trying to have fun, man.
Right.
I heard you say something in there about you played overseas. Was it NFL Europe or was it another league?
So you remember NFL Europe was there. They ended up pulling like their, I guess, endorsement sponsorship for it. So in Germany, they still had those teams. So I was in Italy and Finland for a year. 3 years total. So you still had like some of that still there. I know a few guys, you know, they move over there and they stay. They get citizenship. They don't come back. But we had guys from Oklahoma there, guys from Purdue, like. So it was fun, dude. It was real fun. It was just like pros. You get paid every week. You practice for 3 days, you know, for a couple hours. You play on the weekend. Then after that, man, it's free to do whatever you want to. So, yeah.
And how many games? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How is it overseas in like the Europe leagues, like in comparison with what they call football?
Yeah. Oh no, it's definitely a gap. I would compare them. It depends on what team it is. Like the teams in Germany, dude, or so well advanced. I put them, you know, kind of CFL-ish. when it comes to that. After that, you kind of step. I don't know what would be below the CFL, but you start getting down there once you start going to the other countries and things like that. But yeah, it's pretty big time though. Like they love football.
Yeah, how long was your seasons? Like the season? How many games you play?
I want to say if you go deep into the playoffs, it's like 16 games or so. You automatically play with 12. You have a couple scrimmages, 10 games, and then you start getting into the playoffs.
RJ, obviously, like being from Texas, and how highly recruited you were, and the status that you had in Texas, and we all know how big high school football is in Texas. And so when you signed with LSU, you had obviously had high expectations.
Yeah.
You redshirted your freshman year, and going into your second year, which would have been 06.
Yeah.
I remember the 06 spring when you were playing running back. I can remember on the defense side of the ball, we were like, okay, this is second coming of Reggie Bush. And if people – we used to joke about that. And I'm not just saying this because we tight and we friends. Like, this is God honest truth. And I was telling them off air that your running style right now was kind of compared to Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
And like you were shredding us at practice. So you're a blue chip recruit, parade All-American. You have your jersey retired in high school, which is not normal. I've never heard anything like that in my life. You get to college. You having a heck of a spring in 06. You tear your ACL in the scrimmage, and then from that point on, it's kind of like, well, dang, like you kind of get lost in the shuffle just because of how the system is set up. I think for a lot of athletes who are highly recruited and get to that point, and it doesn't work out the way they think they want it to work out. Like, how did you cope with that and balance that to push you through to finish the career the way that you wanted to?
Man, there's a lot in that, right? One, I appreciate you for kind of, acknowledging that and things like that. But I mean, we all have to go through something, right? And, I was feeling like you have to feel too, right? So when I tore my ACL, I was like, yo, everything was like at my fingertips. Like I knew, it was about to be on. And then, you tear your ACL and then, everything runs through your head. But once you start feeling, you get back to your roots and like your foundation, bro. Like my dad always told me, adjust, adapt, and overcome. You know what I'm saying? What happens, bro? You deal with it and then you knuckle up and you go to work. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did, bro. I just took it a day at a time. I was in rehab on hard, and then them one-on-ones with Moffitt. That was the first time I kind of learned, like, this world don't care what you're going through. You still got to go put in the work. Moffitt did not take it easy, and I actually came back stronger from my ACL than I was before because he did not take it easy on me. But also in that same time, it really hit me because, when you're coming out and you have these dreams, you're like, nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to get it accomplished, right? And to have something that, you love just kind of taken away from you, like, oh, you got to get a contingency plan going. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to figure something out. Even if let's say you make it to the league and you get 10 years out of it, right? You go in at 22, you've done at 32, 33. You still got your whole life ahead of you. So you still got to figure out, what you're going to do with the rest of your life, man. So I just kind of channeled that energy. Like I said, I felt, bro, I probably went through a phase where I was depressed, but after that passed, man, I got back to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like a hustle. Like, nobody's going to feel sorry for you. And I actually would get offended when people would feel, if I felt like somebody was feeling sorry for me, I was, I felt the way, you know what I'm saying? So we got back to it. So I was always a fighter, dude, and even coming back, you still have to deal with some injuries and stuff like that. But my faith in God, I always knew, man, like, it was all always work out. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't change anything for the world, man. Like I said, it's been great.
Yeah, well, in those times, I like what we do. And it's one of the reasons that we do Evergreen too. We talk sports and current sports and everything, but the conversation, I always tell Doug, and I always shout out the foundation because it gives a reality look. For me, as a person that's never been a player, never played college ball, never played high school ball, sometimes I be wanting to know what the thought process is. So even in that process of the injury and then having to fight back, and I know you mentioned just now that you kind of went through a depression. Yeah. Was there any resentment there for the coaches? Kind of like, I remember Doug mentioned that it was like the last play. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really didn't have to be out there for spring practice that long. You know what I'm saying? Was what's some of the, I guess, coping things that you did, you know what I'm saying, to kind of maneuver through that?
Man, like I think you do have to feel whatever you're feeling at the time. You got to let that run its natural course, and then just kind of identify. But if there was some resentment there, because I remember the whole kind of process, man. I had broke down the field like 40, 50 yards, and I was just tired. And I remember Craig Stelter hit me, knocked me out. I was tired, gassed, got my helmet, and I remember Coach Porter was like, "Hey, man, you just got one more play." I was like, "No, I'm tired. You got one more play." And it was 92 naked H under, bro. And I remember it coming out the backfield. I wasn't supposed to block anybody. It was free release, man. And Curtis Taylor, my dog, you know what I'm saying? He was, doing what he needed to. And if I wasn't tired, I could carry somebody for a few yards. I was just tired, bro, down, you know what I'm saying? So, I had some resentment there. It was like, yo, could have took me out, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You would have been in the league and been doing our thing now, you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, you worry about the what ifs, and then you think about, if you would have did this, did that, man, something could have happened, later on or whatever, right? You can't focus on that, right? You can control what you can control, man. And that's kind of how I dealt with it, man. Like like I said, I was going to church, I was talking to my people. I had Doug, I had Hawk, man, because when it happened, I think everybody was off campus too, you know what I'm saying? So I was just there. I had the little machine, had my legs, but his family, they make sure they checked on me, was getting home from meal. He checked on me and stuff like that. So, like I said, you just kind of deal with those feelings, man, because those feelings are real. You can't suppress them. I dealt with it, I prayed and, I talked to my people about it. But like I said, I still had a chip on my shoulder. It was like, yo, I'm going to make it. It wasn't like it was just like a little detour, you know what I'm saying? And but it raised some awareness, like, hey, this is not gonna be here forever. And then that's just kind of what it was, man. I just took it a day at a time after that, man. And then, doors started opening, you know what I'm saying? And like, it's crazy because people saw me fighting through that. And that's how I actually got my first job in construction. And a lot of people like I still handle my business after that. And it's wild because one of the academic advisors, I don't know if you remember Kristen, her dad owned a construction company. And she was just like, hey, I remember you from LSU. Like, you went through all of that, but you handled your business. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know what kind of person you are. You know what I'm saying? And we need those kind of people. And that's how I ended up getting into it. So, you never know who's going to watch, who's watching you. And things. I think the biggest thing that came out of that, man, we were at our end of the year, banquet, right? And I had, parents from different players like, hey, my kid wouldn't be here if you weren't here, right? They saw you go. Like, we had guys that had injuries. Stephen Ridley, his people came up to me after, like, hey, he wouldn't be here if you weren't here. Like, you showed him, like, you can get this done. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Right.
You realize your life's not your own. People are watching you, man. And it was bigger. I got that at a young age. I got that while I was there. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of kept me going, man. Even now, like, I realize, people got to see you do your thing. Like, somebody's counting on all of y'all, everybody, to be what you're supposed to be. And that includes going through what you have to go through, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, he don't touch on what you're doing right now and what you're doing in your life right now, construction-wise, how you traveling around and some of the projects that you're getting into.
Yeah, man. I'm in construction and design right now. We do a bunch of high-end builds, man. Some of the places you guys probably heard of, man. It's been fun. It's not a lot of people that look like us in this industry, but they need our ideas. They need, like, we're the people, we can talk to the owners, these billionaire owners, but we can also talk to the guys roughing in electrical and things like that. Everybody can't do that. That's a skill. You know what I'm saying? And we have that. We work with teams, you know what I'm saying? And that's all it is, man. I don't do anything to get the best out of everybody. I don't do anything special. You know what I'm saying? I can get people to get in the right direction. But yeah, man, just in construction, man, I've done projects from Atlanta to, Vegas was my home for a bit. So up and down the strip, man, I probably touched a few of those properties, man, from Tile. We have Toca Madera.
I'm about to say, throw some names, man. Throw some
man.
Let's talk that talk, man.
It's humble right now.
Yeah, man. It's hard, man. So, we have a few things for Tile. Started Tile Beach there, man. Touched some things at Lavo Restaurant. Toca Madera was just opened up. Went in to help out for that. That was in Vegas. Houston, I worked with Giorgio Armani Group, so I did some things for them on Rodeo Drive, Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Let's see.
Talk, man.
My times were doing the beach, man. Like, and right now I'm working on some things in San Francisco. for a company called Zooks. They do the automated driving, self-driving cars, man. They own by Amazon. So I'm doing a research and development center in their office building now, man. So it's afforded me to do some things, travel some places, man. It's been fun. I'm a dude behind the scenes, you know. You go there, they be like, oh, who is this, whatever. But we actually putting that stuff together, man. So it's been fun.
So when you walk in these rooms for bids and like you said, not a lot of people like you, do you see that your competitive nature, your playing career and everything like that gives you an advantage in those situations?
Oh man, look, you gotta be a little bit like crazy to play football. You know, like you kind of like flip out, man. And we call it turnover, right? And it's competitive to me because like I got to turn over these rooms, right? Let's say we Taj or whatever, and I got the client rep, and you know they go try to find little things to do. Some things ain't paid for, all this other stuff, and it's like me versus you. That's my mindset, right? We gonna do whatever we can to get this dub, get this thing turned over.
Get the dub.
Man, like that's game day to me. Turnover is game day to me, man. And like just to see, you know, get these restaurants open and stuff like that, that's game day to me, man. Like adrenaline be rushing, you know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of things to do, you get them knocked out. But yeah, it gets competitive, dude. Even when you negotiating with the subcontractors, right? Trying to get their number lower and stuff like that. So it carries over, dog. Like I said, I'm extremely competitive, and I don't know, like, it's to a bad point.
Sounds like you used it to your advantage, though, man.
You definitely do, man. And you know, I had one of my mentors, man. His name's Mauricio Bustos, man. I remember walking into my first meeting. This is for Tile. We were doing design development for Tile Beach. First day there, you know, you got these billionaire owners, multimillionaires there, right? And you know, typically I come in the office, I'm jeans, hat back, shirt, chilling. They let you come to the bar for this meeting. You know, I put on, you know, some khakis, a shirt, you know, tightened up. What you doing? Mind you, he old cat, man, but you know, his hat back. He wears cowboy boots and jeans and stuff. He's like, man, don't ever change who you are for these people. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you have something that they need. You come in as yourself. They will always respect you as yourself. You know what I'm saying? That stuck with me, you know, because I thought, you know, it was my first time kind of in this industry and then, you know, in those spaces. And I'm thinking I have to change who I am, you know, somewhat to be presentable. And it's like, nah, man, that don't matter. As long as you produce and, you know, give an end product that's good, man, like be yourself. They need to see that anyway, you know? So I always stuck with me, man.
How did you find, I know you talked about you went to a brief phase of being depressed, and obviously you transitioned out of that. Like, how did you find, and what did you do to realize, wait a minute, I'm good at something else? Like, that you knew that, okay, construction is my niche, or this is my other talent. But, like, what type of things did you do to realize, like, wait a minute, I'm gifted in this?
Man, one thing about it, even before football, right? Like, even not even football, this is for everybody, man. We're talented and have interest in other things other than what people know us for, and you're actually good at them. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you get boxed in because this is all people see you, like this is what they see you do, right? So this is what you need to do, right? Because you're good at it. We know you for this. This is what you need to do. And I'm thankful. Like my parents have always instilled in me, like, hey, you're great. You're great at this. You're great at that. Like the sports stuff came second. They didn't care. They just wanted me to be happy. But at a young age, dude, I realized I was actually like better at certain things. Like I'm visual. I'm good at design, right? Like this is crazy. It's gonna sound like crazy, right? It's gonna sound something so simple. Like my sisters, right? My sisters, my mom, they always come to me and be like, hey, how does this look? How does this look? What do you want to do with this, right? Where should we put this, right? This is at a young age, you know what I'm saying? And they just trusted my taste, right? And that developed over the years. And then just kind of, you know, when I was traveling, I realized like I like photography, and my pictures were all of like architecture. I didn't realize that until I started like looking back at it. And like, oh, I actually have a passion for this. Didn't recognize it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a culmination of all of that, right? I've always been a leader. You know how our Unity Council was. I never voted myself onto that in college, but my peers did. They thought I was a leader and can get things done. So it's like a combination of that, man. So I think people need to try things. I think so often we don't get to experience things. We don't see things, so we can't try them. So we don't know if we like them or not, or if we're good at it or not, right? But I had people that kind of exposed me to different things, man. And I was like, oh, I'm good at this. And then for whatever reason, it just connected. It connected for me, man. Between like just the design aspect, the architecture aspect, being able to lead people, you know what I'm saying? It's perfect for project management and design here. So
like you mentioned, your playing career took you overseas into Europe. Did you get influenced by a lot of the architecture? I know a lot of the architecture is from old 15th, 16th century stuff like that. Did any of those influences work their way into what you're designing now? Yeah,
man, not so much now, just because I'm not dealing with more of the just kind of ground up newer builds, but those are the things I appreciate. I also understand like some of that style. Like I lived in Italy for a bit. A lot of our stone and finishes come from Italy. What's crazy, and like this is how like I want people to understand, man, like the things you go through, they aren't in vain, right? Like I lived in Italy, played ball in Italy, right? I come to construction. One of my first major clients was Giorgio Armani. They are complete Italians.
Wow.
And like they fully Italian. Their crew that comes over, they're Italian, right? And I had lived there. I understand their mannerisms. I understand how they are. Like they could be having a regular conversation. They just like it's passionate, right? And people think they just going crazy. I'm just like, no, that's how they talk,
right?
Right. So even when we're in our dealings, you know what I'm saying, people would think they would be arguing. They're not. We're just having a regular conversation. So being able to relate like that, and it all kind of ties in. So it made it easier, man. But yeah, you do take some of that style and those design, and you kind of bring some of that stuff over. Not so much the architecture, but the interior finishes and things like that kind of works like that.
So I'm gonna go back to LSU. I want to ask her. So we got the injury. We coming back rehabbing from the injury, and then they tell you they want you to play receiver.
Yep.
What is your mind like? Nah, I'm playing running back. Put me back in the back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, is it like what's the mindset? Was the transition difficult? You know what I'm saying? Like what's just the thought process on that?
Man, so I played receiver in high school, right? It's different when you like I played all positions, right? I was just on the field all the time. The thing that changes is, my rehab was running back. I feel like there was no reason to change me to receiver. I was killing it at running back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You think about the weight gain, your body's like a little bit bulkier, you know what I'm saying? Even my pads, bro. When I first moved to receiver, bro, my pads were so high because I had running back. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to move and these things and make robot, right? Until G was like, hey man, we gotta get you some receiver pads. I was like, I appreciate it, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like, but initially in my mind, I was just like, nah, like I rejected it. I remember they had sent me to the receivers room and they told me it was just for a little while, right? And I was like, just to fill in, right? And I was like, all right, cool. A little while went off in my head, I was back in the receiver room. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's been a little while. I'm back. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, yeah, we want to move you to receiver. And I was just like, man, my rehab had gone through that. So that was difficult. It was difficult because I felt like I was doing a good job at running back, right? And that's not what they saw. So I had to go through a period where I had to change my body and just kind of slim down a little bit. So it's a lot that goes into that. And then you got to think about it, man. For the first 2 years, I was at running back, so I'm behind the curve, trying to pick up on like the details and stuff like that. But again, I'm competitive. It's like, all right, cool, let's do it. Let me work my way up. You know what I'm saying? Get the burn. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how it happened. You know what I'm saying? Still fought my way back up in that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. It's been a reoccurring theme. You know what I'm saying? Like
fight away up. Yeah, right.
Ain't gonna change. It just so happened we were in a non-throwing offense, which.
But y'all? This is give me the timeline, Doug. This is what Coach Miles. Let me tell y'all something. As a fan, man. I was just sitting there, and I'm like, what is wrong? Just what was wrong with this? Why we keep running this same play?
Hey, man.
Same thing with me, man. I'm like, how do they keep getting top flight wide receivers to come to the school?
Yeah,
they don't throw the ball.
That's actually a good question.
Just like if I'm right, like I'm looking at like Jarvis Landry, Odell, Malachi Dupree, like all these cats, and I'm like, no, they leave with like 28 receptions.
Bro, LSU was always, in my eyes, will always be one of the most talented. It was a few years, they would always compare us to Alabama, but I feel like we were more talented than Alabama, like for a while. And I still think
absolutely, 100%.
In the group, bro, like they always go have talent. They always, like, you see how it is. I think per capita, Louisiana has the most guys in the NFL. It's always gonna be talent. Always gonna be talented, man. It's just, you got to utilize it. So what you said, I don't know how we kept getting receivers when we were doing some things. I was like, man, come on, you gotta be.
I gotta come back in 2022, bro. Because I can't. I'm replaying that. My boys to be heated, boy. God.
Give us your best memory from your time at LSU on the field.
Man, on the field.
On the field.
Man, I'm messed up. This is a thing about me, man. Doug, I forgot what game it was, bro. You remember Kurt? Kurt hit somebody, dog. Curtis Taylor, 27. He hit somebody, and he got up, and his eyes, one of his eyes was kind of like stuck looking the wrong way, and he yelled. He ended up straightening out. But Kurt, he a character, dog. And I was like, yo, that's probably the wildest memory I had. But the best memory I had, man, was just, I don't even know. You said on the field, man. I don't even know on the field, man. Probably the first tackle of the national championship game for me.
Wow.
I'm calm, you know what I'm saying? But I was like excited then for the first time probably ever playing football. So, but yeah, that was probably it, man, for me, man. But my best memories was just hanging out. Like, I missed the locker room. You know what I'm saying? I missed the locker room and the film room, dog. Like, it was plenty of times coach had to separate us because, we was playing around, laughing too much or whatever, dog. So that's what I miss, just hanging out with the guys.
Man, tell us about this guy, man. Tell us about this guy, man. Because, we know him from...
Back, no back.
This light-skinned guy right here. Because we know him. You know what I'm saying? I've been knowing him for a long time. But, just tell us about this... this football guy, man.
Man, so first of all, Beck was a dog on that field, right?
Absolutely.
We all know that. And what's crazy is it was like night and day, man, because he the nicest guy off the field.
Bruh.
But dog, man, he would look like, if you catch him on the field, I mean, we had like in the squad or whatever, and he would like look through you like he ain't know you, bro. And I'm like, yo, it's me. You know what I'm saying?
It's me, bro. It's me.
Yeah, like chill. Man, no, but one time, man, you had us running extra sprints. I don't know if you remember that, man. Like, defense was going off. Talk trash, talk cash to the offense, dog. And Beck was leading it. You know what I'm saying? And we had the offensive coaches calling defensive players for not crossing the line. And defensive players, yeah, dog. And then, he used to have his little chants and stuff like that, had everybody going on. But, like, it's crazy, dog, because, like, Dougie is so quiet and nice, but, dog.
Cool dude.
Yeah, man. What's the little chant
we get it on every now and then.
What's the little chant you used to do? You came in the club with you.
Came to the club with a 9 on me. You know my dog's gonna follow me. And there's some pop up, they gonna ride with me. We gonna tear this motherfucker.
Wow. They still do that too, huh? Don't they still do that? No, they still do your chant. They did it the other day.
They did. Yeah,
bro.
They still do it.
And he used to get the defense riled up, bro.
Yeah, get the defense riled up, and I think that's the day, Miles got mad because Green Balls, like Penn State was there, the whole coaching staff. And I think he wanted to make a great impression, but he failed to realize, like, this was the Midwest, this is the South. All right, so things is a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I wasn't speaking in tongues that day at practice. I was speaking in different tongues.
But he kept it fun, man. Like that's the stuff I remember, man.
Yeah, it was good.
Wow, man.
Audrey, man, you talked about obviously you found your niche.
Yeah.
If we're sitting here right now, if Montreal, Dante, and Will, if we're a collegiate student athlete, how would you tell us use the system?
Yeah. One, you use the resources that they give us. I'm not gonna say give us. Use the resources that you earn, right? Because you earn,
right.
So I'm not gonna say give us that you earn, right? I don't necessarily think I did the best job of that, but I think these kids are in position to do so. Even if it's NIL money, you know, putting something to the side, taking care of yourself, but exploring opportunities, man. Like a whole part of this is like being able to try things out, because you got to think about it, man. We're in sports. We didn't get a chance for like internships and stuff like that. They didn't prep us for that. You know what I'm saying? Every other sport got a chance to do it, you know. But you kind of gotta spend some time with yourself, figure out what you're good at, what you're not good at, demand these people like expose you to these things. You know what I'm saying? Like you get some free time, man, go off somewhere, go shadow somebody. That's why I applaud what you do, right? You get those kids in high school, you get them, right? Have them go shadow some career, like certain people in certain career paths, man. So you figure out what you do, and then just don't take it for granted because it flies by, man. Those days you're not going to class because you don't feel like it, or you're not, you know, in the weight room doing extra or whatever, dog. You got to understand, man. Football or not, sports or not, dog. This is a competition, man. There's so many spots. You know what I'm saying? You compete with yourself and somebody across the country, and now people across the world, right? So you just gotta take advantage of that, man. The counseling, the tutoring you need, you know, the career services, right? Like I said, demand that they let you get some internships and things like that. You gotta see the bigger picture, right? I think we get so caught up in the moment and kind of having fun, which you have to do. I think college is for that. But you gotta understand, dog, like that is going in the blink of an eye, man. You gotta set yourself up, you know what I'm saying, after that. You know what I'm saying? Get that degree, get that paper. Don't matter what it's in, man, because they just want to see that you can learn. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you go, you have to learn anyway. You know what I'm saying? They got to teach you anyway. So that's all I say, man. Just take advantage of what's, you know, available to you.
So, like you mentioned, I mean, you're doing well. You're doing well for yourself and successful career and all. But does any part of you look at NIL right now and be like, man, what, you know, 2005, 2006 RJ Jackson would have been?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, like, I didn't need that. It would have. I think it would have. I didn't need that. I'll be honest. Like, dog, I ain't gonna say we didn't need it. I'm gonna say I didn't need it because I ain't, you know, I wouldn't have handled it well.
So look. That's a good question, because I was gonna ask you felt about the NIL, and we have that conversation on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
But that make me think sometimes too, because when you start thinking about the homeboys that was in school with you.
Yeah,
you also think about people that was at my time in school.
Bro,
like,
dog,
I can talk all that noise, but
we probably would have been. Hey, you gotta think about it. Not having, you know, much, because don't get it twisted, bro. Like, it was, my people still helped me out during college, right? I think it would have helped them out better, so I wouldn't be hitting moms and dad up. You know, our dad, my pops used to come to the crib, had to fill up the fridge. You know, he had to go say. You know what I'm saying? Because we get money on the weekends and stuff like that. We have burned through it. But like back then, I don't think so. But I think now, like, they're in better position to, you know, kind of take advantage of it, dog. Like, you know, back then, like, not having money kept me out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? I can't go, can't be there. I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? So we was at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, now I think these kids are better positioned. I think about how much money, you know, college making off these kids, or we're making off these kids, man. Like, you see number 7 jerseys around LSU, number 18. Those boys wasn't making money off of that. Just think about how they would have been set up. And like, even the guys that, you know, they were fringe, right? They got there for a year or whatever. Think about what NIL money could have done for them to kind of start them at zero, right? Like, you got time to figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life, because you straight financially. You know what I'm saying? I know people, and I've been afforded, just kind of not to make decisions based on that. But like, man, dreams kind of get derailed sometimes because you got to make a move for money. You know what I'm saying? So I think now kids don't have to do that, man. They take care of it, put it somewhere where it's accruing interest or invest in it, right? I'm not go have fun because you go have fun, right?
Absolutely.
So make sure you take care of yourself for the next step, man. I tell my little cousin that, man. I was like, hey, put that stuff to the side. But when it comes time, you're getting ready to get drafted, you gotta go training and stuff like that, man. Don't take that money from them agents, bro. That come with interest. Like,
indeed.
They coming back for it. Don't worry.
Yeah, of course, they gonna get it back, man. Like it's all a game, man. I think it also separates who really wants to play ball and who doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can give people money, and if they don't really want to be there, really, it's gonna show on the field, and then they're not gonna have it no more. You won't see them again. But the people that that they really care about ball, I don't think it's gonna hinder anything. You know what I'm saying? I think it's better for everybody, man. Because you gotta think about it. This has been taking advantage of those kids for the longest.
Right.
Now all of a sudden this money is available. You know what I'm saying? Like that was in somebody else's pockets.
Yeah.
It was always there. It was always there.
Always there, dog. So I'm happy for the kids. Go get it. You know what I'm saying? And just be smart with it.
Yep. I love it.
That's what's up.
What about if 2004 RJ, you 05 signing class, highly recruited RJ, you get to LSU, and let's say you don't play your first year.
Yeah.
And now with the whole transfer portal, right? That RJ, the 05, 04, 05 highly recruited RJ, put him in 2019, 2020. Yeah. Does that RJ leave after his first year?
No, I'm competitive, dog. Like, you got to think about it. If I wanted to play running back, I could have went anywhere else and kind of played as a freshman, something like that. I came to LSU, dog. Like, they had the backs, but I still got to prove this to myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I've never quit anything and I finished it. That's just not. That's not how my people raised me. That's not how I am. You know what I'm saying? So, I actually had that question with my cousin Marcus, who played at TCU. You know what I'm saying? Kind of went through the same deal, and it's just like, man, it is what it is, bro. Like I came there, I'm gonna finish it out, and I'm glad I did. Like everything that happened for a reason, and it worked out for the better, and it's still getting better. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't change anything.
Still getting better. Yep.
Yeah. Bro. Like, man, one thing my mom used to say, like, the best is yet to come, man. And I really didn't understand that. My mom used to just be saying that, and I'd be like, man, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Love you, mom, whatever. And it just clicked to me one day, man. Like, I've been fortunate, man. And I think everybody, if you look back, man, I look at the stages in my life, like high school ball, dude, I was just a kid having fun. I don't kind of reflect on that sometimes unless, other people bring it up. I don't bring it up. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like, really did some things, right? Then it's like playing overseas. Oh, I used to live overseas. Now it's like, oh, I'm doing this, right? Like it gets better, man. And like it doesn't always happen for people like that. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't change anything for the world, man.
Straight up. What was the like you said, when at the time in high school when they, like you said, they retired your jersey, but you was kind of like, what was the acceleration of that time in your life where it was like, I'm just trying to have fun with my kids to, this Tiger Stadium. Like, like, know what I'm saying? Like, did you realize it while it was going on, or it was more of a, you had to look back to see like, oh dang, man, like it kind of took off like a rocket ship.
Yeah, that's a tough question because I'm thinking about it now, man. It was so much that was going on in that, because like when I retired, like even when I was going through recruiting, I didn't even take all of my visits just because there was so much going on. I remember, and I didn't think a big deal about it, just kind of having like coaches at the school and like a big crowd just being late to class and stuff like that. And I was just I was kind of in the moment, didn't think it was bigger than what it was, but I actually got exhausted like from traveling and going to all these schools, and I was like, man, I'm tired of this. You know what I'm saying? Like I really was just trying to have fun, dude. Like it's the best times when you with your people, everybody just laughing. It ain't nothing at stake. Like y'all do, every so often when y'all hop on the pod, man, y'all just talking, chilling. Like that's the best times of me. You know what I'm saying? So between that and then like the summer, we were all working out because a lot of my boys got, they got scholarships too. So we were all just hanging out, and like that period was just, you know, certain things going on. I was just enjoying being a high school kid, man. And the blur happened to me when we took our senior trip. I went to Cancun. I didn't realize when I had to report to LSU, right? So boys is already up here working. I went to Cancun with my boys, right? And I remember Coach Nader, man. I appreciate that man so much. He was like, "Hey, we need you here tomorrow." I'm like, "Hey, dog."
I'm in Cancun, bro.
Yeah,
girls out here.
You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow, summer workouts start, right? You gotta get enrolled. So I don't know if people remember. I showed up a few days late. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Well, when you touch down, you gotta be back." So we were wilding out in Cancun. Flew home. My stuff was already packed. My parents had packed my stuff. Mom drove me to LSU for a workout. My first collegiate workout straight out of Cancun. I had Brad Price. Still remember this, dog. And we were in the stadium, the gym at the stadium. Bro, when I was like, they had me questioning college. That was the first time I was questioning, kill me, dog. I couldn't raise my arm, couldn't do a pull-up. Like, I was just like, bro, I can't. And then I had to go to class. Like, I had to go to class and everything. I was like, yo, bro, I don't know what this man. Like, so that was like a blur for me, dog. That was the blur part. Everything else is kind of regular. That was the blur. And then before you know it, you're in routine and it's a wrap. You're gaining 15, 20 pounds and you in it. You know what I'm saying? But that was a rough awakening, dog. I literally hit my boy up. I was like, hey, man, like, how y'all doing it out there, bro? He was like, he went to TCU. He's like, oh, no, man, we don't start workouts for another 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So he had time. He had time to chill. I was throwing him at 5.
So what do when you talk about like reporting early for something, like what do you think now of the, you know, the kids reporting in December, man, like straight out of senior year, like we all gas, no brakes, man. Like we like we going in December, we going through spring ball as a freshman when I should be finishing my, you know, going to prom.
Man, look, I think if you got it in your heart and you figure out what you want to do, like you commit, like you do it, man. You got to think about that extra time that you get before you separating yourself from the class, right? You're already getting acclimated because that's a big thing. You got to adjust to the speed. I think the biggest thing, you got to adjust to the schedule. Like college prep you for life, for the pros. Like our schedules were tailored. I talk to people now, man, they think we had like free time. And I was just like, nah, man, it was around the clock. Even when we had games, we flew back right after the game. I went to church Sunday morning. We didn't get in until like midnight, 1 o'clock. I went to church Sunday morning at Bethany, right? And then we in there for stretch and stride, and then you're right back at it. You know what I'm saying? But those kids that's getting in there early now, man, they getting a head start on the game, man. It reminds me of like Kobe, right? When they were saying, you know, he was talking about his workout and just like he got in there earlier. He was like, if you get in there and fold, you rest, get a couple hours here, come back and rest, eat breakfast, get back. 1, I thought he was crazy. 2, when he broke it down, he was like, before you know it, you got this many days ahead of your competition. And at that point, he can't catch up. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So for the kids that do that, man, as long as they don't experience burnout, because I don't believe in that. You know what I'm saying? Like I went through burnout as a kid in sports where you just, you know, going through it. But if you don't experience burnout, man, go for it, man. And then like it buys you time too, especially with the rules now, man. Like if it don't work out somewhere, go somewhere else and make it work. You know?
Make it work. Right?
Yeah.
So my question is, how did you balance your competitiveness, your faith, when it was time to stop playing ball in the transition? How did you go through that transitional balance itself, and when you knew when it was time?
Man, I knew when it was time, and like, you know, the boys that play the league, they'll tell you the same thing, man. It was just hard to prep. You know what I'm saying? Like it was hard to get ready, get in shape. You know, your bones started hurting and, you know, you started aching that. And that's when I knew. And then I realized, bro, like before I went into my last season, like I knew I was like, all right, it's time to find a career. So I actually bought myself some time. I went into my last season knowing it was going to be my last one. So I was looking for opportunities, right? And I'm like, I'm going to enjoy this, take advantage of it, you know, go see some places, go do some things. And I knew, you know, you say your prayers, you get those subtle reminders, but it was getting hard, bro. I was aching more than I should. Tell you when it's gonna rain. Like it's been tough, dog. It really was, dog. Like, and typically after practice, man, I'm fine. You know, go hop in the cold tubs and you're cool, right? You might limp a little bit, but it was just getting harder and harder to get right. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I knew. And then, like I said, mentally I was already there. Like. But mentally, I already knew I wasn't gonna do this forever. If I made it to the league, I wasn't gonna do it forever. I didn't plan on doing it forever, man. So
right.
That's what kind of helped it. It made it easy, man. I had mentally been there, then my body, you know, it gave up. And now when I look back at it, man, football is kind of crazy, man. Like you think about grown men, you know, you take supplements. You feel me? Like,
bro, you just told me that Curtis Taylor hit somebody and his eye was the other
bro. He'll tell you that.
I had to go back to them. I'm like, boy, this boy didn't win.
Man, we've done some. Dog, I'm telling you, we've done some things, man, to play this game, man. Like you take painkillers, you can't sleep at night, bro. I played a game with a migraine. You know what I'm saying? I just migraines and like you know had to take some things to get out there. So it's crazy what you do for it. And when I look at it now, dog, I watch it from, you know, a technical aspect. And then I'm a fan. I got my cousin playing. I like to see these kids, like, get to it, man. I love seeing the kids play with passion. But, man, grown men, you got to think about it, man. You training year-round, you know, go run full speed into somebody and you protected by some plastic. It's about that. Bro, it's a car collision every time. It is crazy. It is, bro.
Man.
Dude, one thing. We're gonna let you get out of here, RJ. Yeah. One thing you mentioned that I caught that you were talking about in high school that you were having a good time. You were never a guy to get really hyped up. Yeah. And the first time that you got hyped up was in a national championship game when you made a tackle. That's the first time you showed emotion. Yeah. But in high school, you didn't really show emotion. Huh. And one thing I've noticed, like guys, is extremely talented. We've had my cousin on here, Kendall Beckwith, who was extremely talented in high school, even in college. And so his whole stigma when he's going to get drafted, where they were telling him he didn't show emotion. Right?
That's the thing, bro.
And so I'm thinking now, like, should it be for you know, this whole slogan like ball is life. And on the podcast we talked about ball is not life.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Could it be? And you elaborate on this. Should kids really do this for purely joy and fun and not be so serious? Because I think guys like you and Kendall, who did it for fun and just having a good time, when it was over with, it was a little bit hard, but you guys transitioned a lot easier than somebody that's like, man, I got to make it, dog. Like, if I don't make it, brother, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, how do they find the joy and the purity of just playing a sport?
Yeah, man, it's tough because it's tough for kids now because you have social media and it's like, hey, you're supposed to make this many millions and you're getting pressure from everybody. They're getting pressure from their parents, they family. Seriously, dog, like it's tough. And it's, man, even back then, right? It happens.
I'd be a millionaire by 22, man.
Yeah, bro. Like, know to that. Like, I gotta get it. So that kind of takes, you know, when you start throwing money into stuff, it kind of takes the joy out of it, right? I think the biggest thing for me is, right, I realized my place back then. The reason why I'm naturally not an emotional guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't show emotion like that because I process everything in my head and then I'm kind of on to the next. Even in, you know, high school, man, because I was on, you know, offense and defense, and I realized my team needed me. So when I scored, all right, I gotta go play corner. What they trying to do now, right?
Right back to it, right.
It was right back to it. But I was having fun because I was doing something with, like, I don't care what nobody say, dude. Like, even for me, like, life cool, I can do what I want, travel and stuff like that. But none of this is just fun. It's just if you're not doing it with people, right? People you love. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what kind of kept me centered and kept it kind of easy for me, right? Because I was having fun with people I'm still friends with that I do business with now. It makes it kind of easy, man. And then understanding, like, it's a gift, man. Like, you're supposed to have fun with this gift, man. Like, football is enjoyable. It's the business aspect that kind of takes away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you start getting into contracts and people not upholding their ends or whatever, people got to get paid, taking cuts and stuff like that. So, you know, and you kind of, I'm not going to say love, man. I think we use love far too often. You'd be like, hey, we love this. We love these cookies. We love it. No, you really kind of like it. You don't.
You like them cookies? You like the cookies?
You don't really love it, man. And I think for us, we say like, hey, we like football, we like basketball, because that's the only thing we've seen. You know what I'm saying? You realize you have options, dude. It's kind of hard to be like, I love something, and I'm really just that connected to it. When it's like, oh, if this over, I can go do this. Right? Like we're evolving creatures, dog. Like everybody's gonna be good at something. You're gonna be good at something for 30 years, and you're gonna find something else, and you're gonna be good at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just having that and kind of understanding like you're multifaceted, you're multi-talented, and you can carry this thing on into anything else, man. Like that's what it is. Because like nobody was put here to do one thing. Nobody was put here to be a football player or be a basketball player, be here to just be a teacher. Like nobody was put here for that. It was like you have so many talented people here, so many talents that need to be kind of discovered. And that's a part of it, right? Like that's where you find fun in things, man. It's finding some, because you want to be good at something. You find something that's challenging, you find something that's good, you find something most of all that's purposeful, right? Yeah. That's where I enjoy, because it was my purpose. You know what I'm saying? It was my purpose for that time, man. God has periods of times for things. That was my purpose. Yeah, it's definitely seasonal, man. And I understood that. It's crazy. That was something I got at a young age. Like, even for me now, I'm being in construction or whatever, having fun for a few years, and then it's gonna be something else. I'm gonna be doing something. Next time you see me, bro, you have a camera in my hand flashing it. So that's just what it is, man. Just like being exposed to things and having fun, finding your purpose, man. And that's what kind of keeps you grounded, man. Because I think everybody is kind of doing this for the wrong reasons too. So
yeah. Well, before we get out of here, I want we call it the Evergreen Pod because our conversations like this one tonight is going to be green forever. It's not seasonal. It's not caught up in one time.
I like that.
It's just something that somebody can listen to 10 years from now, 15 years from now, and still get some understanding of it. But we got to get to a few current affairs, man. A few current. How you feel? How you feel about what's going on in college football? LSU right now.
Hey, I'm gonna keep you a buck because I be tweeting about it. You do. First, I'm gonna start off. I love the heart that the kids have, bro. That Florida State game, things wasn't going their way, and they battled. They battled that whole. Our quarterback, I think we got something. You know what I'm saying? But they battled that whole game, both sides of the ball, bro. So I appreciate that. I wish we put them in better positions for the first half. 3 quarters, you know what I'm saying? And that's for any coach, any manager. If you're in a supervisor, you're supposed to put your people in the best positions to succeed. And I think it just took us a little bit too long, but I think it'll come around. Excited about it, excited to see what's going on with the kids and what they're gonna be doing the next couple of days. But they've gained some confidence. Like I said, if they build off what they've been doing, man, they're gonna be all right. Not worried about it at all, man. And like I said, we got some leaders there, we got some playmakers there. We just got to figure out, some ways to get them the ball, find our identity first, which is gonna be tough, man. So can't be so hard. Like the thing I hate about it is like the fans just that don't understand ball, bro. Like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's so crazy. But we gonna be fine, man. And then just college football now as it stands, man. I think it's been fun. It's been a little nerve-wracking sometimes. It's been exciting. It's just I don't think people realize like there are tiers, right? There's only 3 championship teams.
I'm about to say, who you got? Who you got? Who pulling it off?
Man, that Georgia team's crazy. If they quarterback with Stetson use the wild card. Yeah. Use the wild card, right? I'm never gonna count out Bama because they championship pedigree. You know what I'm saying? Right, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say they didn't. They were uncharacteristic, that last game. But Sark and what's the guy that came from TCU?
Patterson.
Yeah, Sark and Patterson had a hell of a game plan for them. Yeah, they don't, and I'm keeping the buck. They don't even have the athletes that they need for those schemes, right? And they figuring out. So they gonna be somebody to watch too. But I got those 2 right now. I don't even know who else I would put in that. You want to see USC kind of get in there and like Ohio State, all of those teams. But I've never been a believer ever since we played them because I feel like they're either big, they're not big and fast like we are, or they fast, they're not big, they're not strong. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I think you have these teams at the top 2 or 3, and then after that, you have some really good teams, and I think people get it confused thinking these second-tier teams, which is not bad. They 10-win teams, right?
Right.
They are championship teams, and it shows, man. I hate that they're trying to, expand the playoff because I don't think you know what I'm saying? Like we see it all the time. Those like we saw it with Oregon. Oregon went out there and got blasted. And it's like, all right. And then A&M lost to Appalachian State. But that team, App State. So I was just watching
rough boys, man.
They belong in a different league. Yeah. You have like that talent, and you got a coach that believes in his kids, and he's going for it every 4th down. That's hard to beat, dog. They got that's hard to beat, dog. Like
the balls are still, boy.
Man, y'all better stop scheduling them boys. Like you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Straight up.
And I see, Jackson State being like that too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
See that coming, and it's just like y'all better stop doing that. They're gonna mess up y'all money.
Yeah. How you feel about what Prime doing, man? We always.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. We talked a little bit before, like him not, he didn't want to sacrifice his kids and stuff like that. I'm a big believer in that. Like you don't take them out there just to get L's, because at that point you're pimping them out for money. Let them gain their confidence, and when you feel like you can be somewhat competitive, you get them out on the field so they be like, oh, yo, we can actually play with these boys. You know what I'm saying? And then he's changing the landscape, man. Just think about over the last few years and some of that talent with the HBCUs, where they would be now, where the money would be, where the networks would be. Like it changes the whole landscape. I told y'all, I want him to keep everything clean because they're gonna be trying to come for that boy.
Oh, absolutely.
You land a few more of them prospects, dog. Like,
5-star recruits, man. They come and talk to you.
Yeah, bro. Like
100%.
I think it's good mentorship, bro. I think it's good for the game. I think it's good for college football in general.
Yeah. What's the vibe on the West Coast with USC and UCLA moving?
Man, they don't. So you got to think about. I remember I went to a UCLA game, Oklahoma game. It was more Oklahoma fans there. Even Cal here, bro. Like football, not life here like it is for us.
No,
right.
They got nice weather. They got clubs, beach. It's way too
Hollywood.
It's too many other things they can do, bro. Like so, when we go, like me and my boys, they from the South too, play high school ball with them, and we like, yo, we had more people at our high school games, and you know what I'm saying. One thing I will tell you. UCLA tailgate clean, you got these $1 million homes, it's on a golf course, they got a nice setup, but they don't do ball like we do, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like you look at, and then like UCLA got like the worst setup. Like it's a bunch of people that really don't care about football in probably one of the largest stadiums in the world.
Yeah.
In the Rose Bowl. And like 20, 30,000 people there.
Hey man, but I gotta be easy on how I talk about UCLA because I went down to the UCLA LSU game when they put it on us out there. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Coach O found him another life out there.
Hey man, it was beating us up in the trenches, dog. And I was like, no, not the guy on the west side, man.
I was not expecting that, bro.
No, I wasn't even. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't. They was getting to it, man. But yeah, it's different out here, dog. Like they don't breathe this. They don't bleed football. They don't live for it. It's something else. Don't get me wrong. There's some talent out here, but just overall, dog. Like LSU. You know how it is. Saturday or even Sunday with the Saints. Like that's it. It ain't nothing else. I don't care what you got going on. Don't put anything around it. Like that's
shut it down.
Yeah, here this is an option. Hey, I got these tickets.
I got these tickets.
I got these tickets. You want something? That's what I think about it, man.
So I got one more question for you. How you feel? I know we were all excited, man. Week 1 last week in the NFL, man.
Yeah.
How you feel about it? Who you pulling for? Who you see is standing out, man? There's some crazy games last week, man.
Oh yeah, man. Just the one. I think between the last week, special teams, they're gonna have some extra periods in practice, dog. Like they were making some mistakes. I'm just
bro.
What's going on? You know what I'm saying? It's still a long season though, man. Like we can't get this week 1. It was fun. Right. I want the Texans to be good just because I'm from Houston. You know what I'm saying? Staying with the dog. I know they ain't no championship aspirations there.
Just not this week because I got Russell Wilson and they playing fantasy points. So just not this week. I'm with you, but just not this week.
Yeah, no, you're gonna be good. I don't have a team, man. I root for players like I like. You know what I'm saying? Okay. It's always LSU boys. I always want to see them win. You know what I'm saying? I want to see Justin Jefferson lit it up.
Yes, he did.
That is unreal what he doing right now, man.
Bro, that kid's in that offense, dog. Like,
it's that offense too.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. Like, we put that talent with that off. That's crazy, dog. I wish the Bengals could have pulled theirs out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That was a wild game.
Yeah, it was.
Let's see. The Rams they got to figure it out. But the Bills going to be a problem.
A problem.
Josh Allen is a problem.
Yeah, dog. And it's crazy. Did y'all see him being that good?
No. Okay, so I did. I always saw the arm talent. Like I saw like how fast the ball would move coming off his arm and stuff like that. But bro, I've never seen accuracy be something that improves in real life, like from year to year, from like year 1 to year 2.
Yep.
And like he go from a playoff game trying to throw a 40-yard bomb across his body to a fullback to now I'm talking about he anticipating, he hitting boys in the chest 30 yards downfield on a frozen rope.
Yeah, like, easy. Well, man, what you doing?
And he running the ball.
Oh yeah,
running the head on at the linebackers like like boom, boom, boom. Like, what's up?
Yeah, that's big boy though. Like I think people get that twisted. Like he's athletic. You know what I'm saying?
What Josh Allen is doing, he's changing a franchise. He's not only changing the quarterback position to what people thought Cam Newton was going to do. He's actually changing the Bills. Nobody talked about the Bills before Josh Allen. Nobody talked about the Bills before Josh Allen.
Didn't somebody say that in our text group that Josh Allen is what Cam Newton was supposed to be? Somebody said that.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me, but I read it. I know I read it.
What he was supposed to be.
Josh Allen is who Cam Newton was supposed to be.
Man,
we know who texted.
I don't know who said that. I can't let y'all disrespect Cam Newton though.
It's no disrespect. It's no disrespect for Cam Newton. Don't get me wrong. Cam Newton was a dog. Cam Newton is probably the best college football player ever, right? Probably had the best single season ever.
Just college?
Look.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to go on.
One year in college.
MVP.
It's over. I know people talk about Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
But Cam Newton, name me one receiver on that Auburn team.
Oh no, he did more with less.
Name me one person in that defense besides Nick Fairley.
No, bro. He did more with less.
I'll wait.
You're right.
Don't get me wrong. Hey, Joe, we appreciate what you did for LSU.
Doug. He won an MVP in the NFL.
Who?
Cam.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he was. I'm not. No. Y'all let me finish. I'm gonna give him his props.
See, there you go. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Was that chant?
Yeah. Yeah. That's it right
there. Hey, listen. All right, I'm gonna give him his props. Cam Newton, in my opinion, is the greatest single season collegiate quarterback in history of football. That's just my opinion. Okay, I know people down here in the South, Baton Rouge, say Joe Burrow. I get it. Joe Burrow was extremely he was great, but Joe Burrow had a supporting cast out this world. Yeah. Cam Newton literally went into Auburn Hills, took the stadium, Jordan Hare, and the whole football team, put it in a book sack, and put it on his back. That's exactly what he did. All right, that's exactly what he did. Now, NFL Cam came in the NFL, set the league on fire. The thing that disappoints me about Cam Newton is that he did not exercise and utilize his God-given talents. It was year 6, year 7. Cam Newton was still thrown off his back foot. The reason why, that's why he had shoulder surgery, because he was so talented to everybody else, he never developed. Like Cam Newton was still thrown off his back shoulder. Every video he would post, he'd be lifting weights and stuff. They go throw a football. It was some technique.
Hey man, we was MVP of the league.
I know. I'm not saying that. Okay, we got MVPs in the league. That's cool. But But just because you MVP of the league don't mean you know all time great.
How many MVPs of the league?
Hall of Famer?
No.
Yeah, I don't think they will give that one to him.
It's gonna be close, but I think he's a Hall of Famer.
You think so?
I think it's gonna go like Veterans Committee. Like it's gonna be
no. Hold on.
Not on the regular first ballot.
Yeah, not on the ballots. Not on the ballots.
Let me ask my question differently. Do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, Hall of Famer.
Who you asking?
Yeah,
I'm asking all y'all. Everybody.
Yeah, Hall of Famer in my book, man.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, man. To me.
Doug?
Huh?
You heard?
Wait. Where you from? Where you from? From Atlanta, Georgia?
Yeah.
He could be in the Georgia Hall.
Ooh, boy.
Hey, what's in that wrong with that?
Look, I
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Not even the SEC Hall of Fame?
I don't
Yeah,
think
that's all about easy.
Yeah, SEC Hall of Fame.
College Hall of Fame?
Yep.
College Hall of Fame,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think he's in
NFL, no?
Yeah.
I don't think he's in the NFL Hall of Fame.
No, I don't.
Y'all think he'll come back and play? I think somebody gonna pick him up.
Nah.
No.
Here's the thing, because
Dallas is using.
Hey man, one thing I've been questioning. Dallas actually could. They actually could. One thing I hate. I was listening to. I forgot what game I was listening to, and they were saying like Colt McCoy was back at quarterback. Yeah, still playing.
He's still in the league. Yeah, he's still
in
in
the
the
league,
league.
Texas.
Bro, I don't know who I was watching, but I
back on
heard it.
somebody.
And I was just like, wait, what? And what's crazy to me is like you get them, Chase Daniel. I'm not gonna say Fitzpatrick because he actually started in some of the places, but those guys are able to carve out those backup QB roles
and stay there forever.
Yeah, dog. And I'm just like,
bro.
no, guys.
Don't get hit.
Yeah, bro.
Just bring donuts on Tuesday.
Easiest job in the league.
Colt McCoy is with the Cardinals.
Who that?
Cardinals,
wow. Yeah. Like he's still on, and there's a few more like that, right? And what's crazy to me is like I know, like, and not even like you got Cap, Cam, like these guys could act, they're better than those guys.
Right.
No, I agree with that.
Like, yeah,
but I think it's tough because I think they're so much better than those guys that it will bring in a problem in some of those systems because you almost want to see them play. You know what I'm saying? If you're starting quarterback faltering at all, it's like, man, put Cap in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Ticket sales.
Ain't that don't competition like breed excellence? Ain't we supposed to be pushing one another?
Like
they ain't trying to have competition.
You know how they game go. They don't want to deal with it. I get it, but that's just wild to me, dog. Because like he said it before, like he ain't the bottom. He ain't the worst quarterback. Out of all the teams in the league. Like he could actually he's probably better than some of them. You know what I'm saying? I believe he is, but physically he is, right? And for him not to be able to find work or nobody to take a chance on him, you know what I'm saying? Like
it's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild, dog.
Yeah, even Cam and people sleep on me. Even Cam, when he started out that season with the Patriots, last year for last, if he wouldn't have had COVID, if he wouldn't have been out for COVID. Them boys have won 3 or 4 games,
bro. Exactly, right?
You can't name a receiver. You can't tell me who was on that team. You know what I'm saying? So,
like
for sure.
So like So how you said it ain't worthy, dog? Like that's crazy to me. Crazy to me, man.
That's the second best position in the NFL, backup quarterback.
Yeah,
the best position. Kirk Cousins has made about $200 million in the NFL, and nobody knows how.
Why?
Because he kept betting on himself, and that's what I want. That's what I actually want to ask. Like,
let me see.
Do you if you were advising Lamar Jackson, what would you have told him? When they offered him that 5-year deal that he passed on and decided.
What was the deal?
I think it was 5 years, like 133, something like that, but it wasn't fully guaranteed.
So it's hard to tell him no when you know what he means to that team, right? When Watson went got a fully guaranteed contract, even with all the stuff surrounding him.
Right.
And he was out. He didn't play last year.
Yeah.
Didn't play.
Bro, how do you justify that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at you, looking at the market. You talking to your agents. Like, I get it. Also, you try to come to an agreement before you get out there and bet on yourself as a quarterback, right? As a mobile quarterback. You know what I'm saying? It could be a left tackle mess up one time, and God forbid. You know what I'm saying? So, I asked that dude be covered, but I wouldn't want him to go out like that. He is betting on himself, and I think he's going to light it up. I think he's going to get a record contract, and he should. You know what I'm saying?
Because they paid Flacco.
Yeah.
What's wrong
What
with
I'm
Ravens?
saying? Like, so how can't you? Like, I think the Ravens are messing this off. Like,
Absolutely.
I don't think it's anything on Lamar side. I think the Ravens are messing this off.
I think the Ravens are tired of the coach, and I think they want a new coach, and that coach is tied to Lamar.
Yeah.
If they don't sign Lamar, they frustrate the coach. If they end up losing and Lamar walks, they're gonna let the coach walk also.
Yeah. No, Harbaugh always been. That's been his guy, dog. Like, they show some of the huddle. They had him mic'd up and stuff like that, and just the faith in the relationship that they have. You see that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a winning coach. I don't know, how do you get rid of that? Like, I think him and Tomlin, dude. Like, how do you get rid of those coaches?
That's true.
Yeah. Like, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to get rid of those guys, man. But I hope you get his bag, bro. Like,
get that bag.
I'll take Harbaugh in New Orleans, though. To be honest with you,
what's that?
I'll take Harbaugh in New Orleans.
What?
What? Yeah, Allen got to go. I don't care about that win. He got to go. Sean Payton is going to the Cowboys. We all do it. The Saints gonna need a coach.
Sean Payton go to the Cowboys. They're getting rid of Dak. What's up?
Dak gotta go. Look, I stopped all my Dak slander when he got hurt. I never believed he was the guy. I think he's solid. I don't think there's a bunch of guys. I think there's some solid quarterbacks.
Right.
I think Dallas gonna have a hard time as long as Jerry Jones doing
GM.
it. Yeah. Right. For real. Like,
it's the same problem. It's always been the same problem. Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna be the problem, dog. Like, they've always had the talent and shown flashes, but I don't know what it is outside of that don't get them over the hump. And I can go back to some inconsistent quarterback play. You know what I'm saying? Then you stop running the ball, because I think they need to be a run first offense like they were, a few years ago. But I don't know.
Yeah, because you got Zeke. What? Yeah.
I don't know if he's the same Zeke though.
No.
Yeah. So there you go.
And that offensive line ain't the same either.
Yeah, exactly.
They paying them the same. Lord, I'm getting them same checks. Lord.
Yeah, man. Who y'all got winning it though?
Man, you said it earlier, man. It's gonna be hard for somebody to beat the Bills, man. Unless, God forbid, any injuries, bro, and if they stay healthy, bro, it's gonna be hard to beat them boys. Yeah,
I think what they added, Von Miller. I think the Rams realized that first game.
Absolutely, 100%.
They missed Von. They missed Big Wit because boys is in the backfield,
That's
right?
True.
Yeah, Von was getting there, boy. Von was getting there.
He still got it, and you saw that.
Wasn't getting there. He was forcing single teams, and them boys were just beating their blocks, man.
Yep. Yeah. He did that all playoffs, even when he wasn't getting there, and then he started getting there, and then the boys were like, "Oh, here we go."
I know, old boy, a dog. All right, I know old boy from the Rams, a dog. What's the boy on the line? I can't think of his name right now.
Oh, AD.
I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I know he a dog, but you think he gonna miss Von? You think he gonna miss some of that energy?
I think he gonna miss it just because it kind of frees things up from time to time.
Right.
I still think, bro, when it's all said and done, if he continue at the pace he's on, he might be the best defensive player we've.
Period.
Did y'all see the video with him choking the rookie?
Yeah, bro. When you see the game when he was choking the other player, bro. When they was practice, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, there were the two helmets, man, getting ready to go to war for
bro.
Real.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Football brings out a dark side in people, dog. Like,
it does.
Bro, I don't think
It does.
it do, bro. Like you just start seeing red. Everybody got to die. Like that's how it is.
Everybody got to die.
He should have been. He should have been choking Cant Newton.
We don't have no Cam slander around here, bro.
Cant Newton. That's what he should.
We don't have no Cam.
That's who he should.
I got one more question.
Yeah, what you got?
Man, how you feel about what the Saints did, man? That was a hell of a comeback, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And like they caught a little rhythm at the end of that game, man. What's your thoughts on that?
Man, so one, I want Jameis. I think Jameis is perfect for the city, right? I want him to win. I think it's almost storybook for the Saints again, right? Jameis has his redemption story because people kind of doubt him, but get it done, and he's shown that, dude. I was mad, the previous year when Peyton was there, they wouldn't let him push the ball down the field when Breeze couldn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I was mad about that because he can actually do it. But you got him, man. You got Juice out there. Juice, his game went. I don't think anybody's talking about it. You know what I'm saying? But we had 100+ and some
114, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the defense been swarming. They got Tyron back there, bro. You got Allen, like dog. Like it's actually set up for them to do what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like knock some of that rust off, and start peaking at the right time going into the playoffs. That's good, man.
In the business of the NFL, though, can you see them beating Tom Brady in the playoffs?
Ooh.
Because it's a business at the end of the day. They want Tom Brady in the 12.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this. If anybody got to him, like it would be the Saints, right? Like they always give them fits, right? Mm-hmm. It's hard to go against Tom. You know what I'm saying? Like
that man slow down. It's hard to go against Tom.
Yeah, bro. It's hard to think.
I don't know, dog. Like I'm sitting there watching the game and I'm like, bro, why Julio look like he in his second year, bro?
Yeah, so I said the same thing. He was
like, why Julio look like he in the second year in the league, dog?
He was just playing. And I'm like, yo, and they said, how they said, like, hey, in camp, Julio look good. We was like, they just talking. He got out on that field, bro. I was like, oh no, this is Julio at first 2 years. Like, nah, dog. And he ran right by one of the DBs. I was like, yo, he was flying, and it looked like he went. And I don't think people realize that. I was like, oh nah, this if he stay healthy, that's gonna be
I'm about to play that man this week. He on my bench right now. I'm about to play that man. I'm about to play that man this week.
Like they know something up. They trying to get him the ball.
Yeah,
aspect. So I don't know. It's gonna be tough. I want the Saints to win that one though. I'm tired of Tom Brady, dog. We get it. You the GOAT.
We get it, man.
Go home to your wife that makes more money than you.
Yeah, bro.
These little badass kids. And right off the sunset, bro. What more do you want?
What more do you want from me?
Bro, at this point, he's just being selfish.
I mean, to your point, man. Like to your point, like the coup he tried to pull off, like with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Bro, I know like nobody really talked about this story until like maybe like a month ago. They was really, but like it happened like last year. But he was trying to pull off a coup, man. This man was going to be an owner, and then he was going to stop being an owner and go play. Yep. And then he was going to get Sean Payton to come coach.
Bro, and only he could get away with some crap like that too. That's wild.
That's wild, bro.
And that's some hate. I was just like, hey, bro, go sit down, dog. Let somebody have a chance.
I mean, but honestly, when I sat back and thought about it, I was like, well, this man do got 7 rings. Like he got like a good percentage of all the Super Bowl rings that have ever been given out.
Yeah.
Why not try it? Like he was like, what else to do, man? I'm gonna try this.
Man, go raise your kids, bro. Like,
bro.
Go try something else. Go be good at something. Go be great at something else.
Bro.
That's all I'm saying, man. Like, go be great at something else.
Yeah, man.
I get 8. That's scary.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, man. Well, it's been good, man.
Yeah, likewise, man. Like I said, it's natural, man. You boys, like I said, I appreciate what you guys are doing, man. Y'all Y'all part of my constant rotation. You know what I'm saying? It's our thing. It ain't none of that.
We appreciate that.
Doing your thing.
Appreciate you, RJ, man. Number peace, love, and blessings, man. Prosperity, all that. You know what it is. So, appreciate you for coming on, bro.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
gotta come back again too, man. Come back and shoot it with us, man.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all like I tell Doug, bro. Whenever y'all need, whatever y'all want, bro, hit me up, man. Doug, share my information, man.
Absolutely.
So
I mean, you can always fly down, RJ. I mean, you're doing Armani and all the places. Get the private jet. Come on down to the studio,
man. Look.
Come on, man. Stop playing.
I'm gonna keep that money in my pocket, and I'm gonna keep like I do. I be trying to get down there, man. It be expensive.
Or we'll come where you are.
Hey, come on.
Yes.
Hey,
I'm looking for a reason for a trip.
So we're gonna get you out here on this one, man. Like, give us one person that you would say we should get on the pod.
Oh man, does it matter what? Like, I'm trying to figure out what sport.
Don't matter. Don't matter at all, man. Your pick.
I'm gonna say Brandon LaFell because I know he got some stuff.
I actually just saw him. I'm heavy in the track, and I saw him at the national championships this summer.
Oh, for real? Yeah, bro.
His son won the national championship.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, his son runs for my cousin's track team. It's named after my uncle, dude. Which is we didn't find that out till they were running out here in Sacramento.
That's where I was at. Yep.
Yeah, bro. Oh, you
was at State.
Yeah, bro. I was out there. I actually came out there, bro.
Okay.
Wow, man.
Damn, we just missed each other.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. I drove out there, bro. Yeah, I think y'all should get him on, man.
Okay.
He got some stories.
Okay.
Cool.
He got some stories.
Cool, man. We'll talk off. You throw us the plug, huh, Doug? You throw us the plug right quick. We get on that thing, man. This has been the Evergreen Pod. Shout out to RJ, man. Doug, Will, Dante, we here again, man. We'll be back soon. This is the Evergreen Pod, yo. We out.
See you.